Oh boy. Oh boy. It's nearly time. And that's crazy. Oh my god, that's crazy. Why do a heck? H-E-K. Heck. What? It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Mel, hello, Mel. So heckin' early. Oh my word. I don't even know when the timestamp was for that. It's whenever I scheduled the dang thing. Thank you, Mel. I appreciate you. Guts is here, baby. Let's go. We cooking. Very excited. Oh, on all the platforms. I appreciate it very much, Mel. Means an awful heckin' lot. And Intra, oh my word. Intra, are you in a plane in the sky? Or have you arrived? In which case, it's the middle of the heckin' night. You gem. You guys, Intra's flying. You know what that means? Well, besides the disappointment pack. Obviously, we gotta get you your disappointment pack. Obviously. It's locked in, Intra. I got you, fam. Remember, don't let your arms get tired. That's what it is. That's if you know, you know. If you know the quote, then you're great. Then you know. If you're familiar, then you understand. But also, that's crazy. How you supposed to be flying and holding a phone with one hand? That's crazy. You need both those hands for flapping and flying. Crazy, Intra. Absolutely crazy. Oh, hold on. Oh, greetings. Salutations. Oh, it's good to see you guys. Welcome in. Welcome to the thing. Welcome to the stuff. It's time, you guys. It's a big to-do that this is upon us. And we're here for it. I'm here for it at any rate. And we're glad to see that you guys are here as well. Pretty darn slick of you, I've got to say. Alright, let me catch up. There to catch up. I appreciate you. Val is here. I'm here and on time because I'm ready. Sheik says, let's go. I'm locked in, baby. Val, you gem. It's good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. Welcome. Ski is here. Let's go. And inhaling soup. That's crazy. Yeah, my beginning of my stream always buffers a little bit. That's in part why I like the starting soon thing, Ski, for that reason. Give it a chance to kind of settle a little bit, you know, out into the ether. I don't know how technology works. I assume somebody's chanting over somewhere and there's like incense things swinging. I don't know. That's just my picture of how this all works. So I don't know. Yeah, what kind of soup? I'm with Val on this one, but what kind of soup dough? That do be the question. Rumble buffering for anyone else? Oh, Thai chicken. Oh. That sounds yummy. That sounds very good. Retro! Hiya, Retro! Disappointment packs are on cooldown because intro was... Woo! She was on it, baby. Retro, it's good to see you. Good to see you. Yes, yes. We've got the command up there. Very good, very good. Hot Bride's here in the house, baby. Let's go. Let go. I'll beat you. Yeah, you did. That was awfully quick. How did you know I was going to do that, Retro? How did you know? All right, I'll allow it. I'll allow it. Lithium's here. I hope your stream goes well, my dude. Thank you for the bandwidth. It means an awful lot. Hard mode time indeed. It's true. I'm in the layover time. Oh, it's good. Give your arms a rest. Very good from all that flapping. Super, super good to see you, Intro. That's crazy. Travel day and all, and yet here you are. My gosh. Here to learn how to have a good relationship. Sits down. Bree! The good doctor! Gang, this is where, like, I'm going to be sitting... This is like, I don't know how many of you are... Ironically. I don't know how many of you are familiar with, like, a dissertation defense for, like, a PhD. You go before your panel, and you have to basically sit there and answer all these, field all these questions from a panel of people scrutinizing your posit, effectively. You put out a thesis and say, here it is. This is my dissertation. This is my idea to expand what is known about this field. And you have a panel of experts, in most cases, to sit there and scrutinize. And so, yes, this is kind of like that. Doc does this for a living. He does relationships things for a living. It's kind of his job. And so that's what's happening right now. I'm here to be scrutinized. So he can sit here and take notes. Got that wrong. I have questions. Am confusion. Hate that. So yeah, it's gonna be crazy. Oh, and May. Oh my gosh, both of them. It really is a dissertation panel, you guys. Now, this is getting out of hand. How two of them? It's good to see you, May. Hi. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Do I have a command for May? I want a command for May. I'm gonna have to make one. We're gonna have to make one. Gonna have to figure it out. We're gonna do it. Is true. Is true. Also, it's hot in here. I might have to open up. Like, I might actually have to open windows, you guys, because it's freaking toasty. It's toasty. It's supposed to be in the 80s next week. Freaking gross. Gross. So yeah, I might actually crack some windows because it's kind of gross. So yeah, actually, you know what? Sit tight. Now's a good time to grab some anti-tilt. Use the restroom if you must needs. I'm not even gonna mute you guys. I'm just gonna leave you right here. It won't be far. You can still hear me. It's safe. Everything fine. We're fine. Everybody breathing. We're breathing in and out. Baby, we got this. I believe. I believe. Okay. But also, it's way too bright outside. So this is, this is a challenge. This will be the first time that our stream starts so early. And therefore, having it be so light outside. This is, I actually don't know what this is gonna do to the lighting. That's kind of concerning. I have worries. I have concerns. I have trepidations. It's true. There we go. Okay, open that window. Oh boy. Oh no, we're fighting with the blinds. Oh, we're fighting. Oh, we are in a fight. Oh, we are in a struggle. It's a knockdown. Drag out. It's okay. Jeez, no, this is gonna be way too bright. Hopefully I can like lean on the auto adjustment to like help with that, because that is Nar, this is gonna be too bright. I'm in danger. I'm in danger. Oh, as long as we're up, we're gonna get a fancy glass because it's a fancy night, you guys. It's a fancy night, and we need a fancy glass. Oh, good, the auto. Okay, that's not so bad. That's actually quite manageable. That's quite manageable indeed. Quite manageable indeed. Also, if I look sunburnt, it's because I am. It's because I am. Anyways, I gotta catch up. I'm behind. I can't do any of this stuff until I catch up. It's ridiculous. We cannot see you. Who cannot see who? What? Oh, you mean during the intro? Yes. That is by design. But thank you for letting me know. I appreciate that. Means a lot. Gail! Hi, Gail. I am nervous. Me too! It makes the twos of us, my friend. Makes the twos of us. Mouse! Essence, oh snowman! And a lurk. Dang. Pops in, says, drink water, and then runs away. Rascal. Oh, right. We can hear every plane now. Drat. Maybe I have to like... I don't know what I'm gonna do this summer if I can't open up. I'll just like have to like lean on the air conditioner. That sucks. That's gonna be expensive. We don't really use the air conditioner. Air conditioner and fans. Yeah. That's gonna have to be the way of it. I'm not nervous. I have soup. Ski, I love that. I freaking love that. What is there to be afraid of when you've got liquid courage? Broth. I love it. Thank you for calling out the good doctor. I appreciate you. Martin! It's good to see you, Martin. Welcome on in, my friend. Welcome, welcome. I hope that you're well. We can see you now. Yeah, ignore that last message. Yeah, that was the countdown. There was a countdown to the camera. That's the thing. Thank you, Val. Truly. I appreciate it. Very often my video scene will be wrong, the audio will be wrong. I always appreciate feedback. I will never be insulted by that. Not even a little bit, so thank you. Valk! It's good to see you, madame. Welcome, welcome. Hope that Fridays found you well. Hope Fridays found you fine. That's right, we did we did it. Blinker fluid. Oh, how did I know this was gonna be my fate? How did I know it, gut? How did I know it? It picks back on cooldown, that's right. That's right. It's so bright in the office. It's bright indeed. Oh, geez. Whoa, I wasn't ready. First one was like not forthcoming at all. First one's like, no, you can't make me. Ridiculous. And then the second one was like, I'm here. Game on. Okay. Blink, blink, blink. Oh, blink, blink, blink. Took a wild guess. I suppose so, Retro. Suppose so. Wouldn't have anything to do with you having been around for forever, Knowing me and my own proclivities. Yeah, if you say so. And there's May. We caught up to May, gang. It is indeed that month. It is. We ball. I know. I appreciate you trying, Guts. I appreciate it, Squirrel. Good to see you, sir. Happy to have you in. Good, good, good. Here for the plot and intrigue. Yeah. Yes, I should have grown out a mustache just so I could twirl it, just to keep people thinking it was all enigmatic and scare. Yeah, all very mysterious. Yeah, that's all right. I don't have a mustache. I'd be up here somewhere. Yeah, it wouldn't be down here. That's silly. It'd be higher. It was cold here. I'll take it, Guts. Send it my way. Jeez, he's gone and no sign. We must panic. Trade me weather. I'll give you 40s for your 80s. I will take them, Valk. Send them this way. I will take the 40s. Like, we're getting down to the 40s at night. But, yeah, that's ridiculous. Get cold here quick. Nice and warm till about an hour ago. I know you said you've had the crazy temp swings, Squirrel. So. Can't believe I just got a turbo ad here. Of all places. Wait, you got an ad on Twitch, Guts? Right now? On my channel? On this channel? You got an ad on Twitch? That's... If anyone else experiences that, let me know. That would be the first I will have heard of that in all these years. What do we do if the blinds win? Oh, well, send help. I don't know, reach out to Hop Ride. Did you blinker fluid? I did indeed do it. We did it, baby. We got there. The plane is pretty soft. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad that it didn't get picked up. But I'm sad that you could hear it at all. But that's past the noise gate, actually. So what you heard was, like, the noise gate mitigated a bunch and then let it all through still. So that's... a really good fan. I've got good fans. It's just I don't like them because especially with a condenser mic with like a really nice studio microphone, which is what I have, it hears everything. Like that plane that was pretty quiet, but I suspected it was going to get picked up. Like if I didn't have a noise gate on, you'd hear like my PC and you would definitely hear fans running. So yeah, that's tough. Really high profile streamer who has plane noise, so I wouldn't sweat it. Really? I don't know, that's a thing. Alright. Mentally preparing myself for these talks. Choking on nothing. To call my butt out on something. I don't know what, but there's gonna be some self-reflection that will need done at some point, I'm sure. Well, that will be true for each of us, I'm afraid. I'm not an exception to being called out by the data, because that is it. I'm going to be leaning very heavily into the statistics and empirical stuffs, and so yeah, none of us are immune. We humans, turns out, Val, and I'm glad that you're here for it. I missed that you were way behind on chat. Yeah. Yes, I was. A little pop-up ad at the bottom of my screen telling me, trying to get me to sub to Turbo. Huh. Gus interview time. Just one question, don't worry. What are you most excited about for this talk series? Wow. I'm the one telling the story. Who knows that quote? What am I most excited about? It being over. I don't know how to answer that question. I can tell you the things I'm least excited about. I guess, you know what, Val? I do have an answer. I am most excited to answer your guys' questions. If you guys didn't see the announcement that I pushed in the Discord, I linked a Notion board, which is just a tiny little one-question form, and you could submit it as many times as you want. Okay, you just pull up the link and you write in a question, and it's totally anonymous. I can't see people. Several of you have submitted questions already. I have no idea who. Okay, that's the way it works. So it goes to a board with no identifying information whatsoever. I have no way of finding out who submitted those questions. I'm most excited to do that. I'm most excited to address the things that are heaviest on your hearts. Now, a lot of that, as I stated, is going to happen as a matter of course. As a matter of the fact that this is intended to be a relationships masterclass, it is intended to be thorough, okay? And so a lot of people's questions, like, it'll already be addressed. That said, I'm sure I'm going to miss something, and I'm sure some of what you guys have specific questions about will be outside of the scope of this. Some of them will be specific to your circumstance. I think most of them will be, hence the anonymity, right? So I don't want anybody to be, like, feeling called out or have to, like, you know, out their situation or whatever it is. And so, yeah, I think I'm most excited to get into your guys' questions because I am... historically, when I've taught on this stuff, I kind of do it by the seat of my pants. I have the research available. I have the data points. I have all of like major talking points and stuff that I want to hit. I haven't scripted this before. So to script it now sucks. It sucked. It was an absolute unbelievable amount of work. And I don't love that. I prefer it to be a little more loosey-goosey. I prefer to be kept on my toes. That is, I prefer to, wait, do I not have a command? Do I not have a command for the Notion board? I thought I did. I don't. What? We've got one for the Festa. Did I just not make one? Relationships. What should I call the command? Relationships. Questions. Relationship questions? Relationship questions. Oh, I have to add maybe a geez, okay. Let's do the board here. Let me grab it real quick like. Let me grab the Notion board. The board. Put it in here. Here's the Notion board. Submit as many questions as you'd like. Exclamation point. Paste. Activate command. Okay, now I gotta add like aliases for this thing. Command aliases. Relationship. Relationships. Questions. Q and A. Notion. That'll do. That'll do. Save. All right, it's updated. It should work. It should pop up, and it's online and offline. So you guys should have access to it all of the time. In case somehow you lose track of it in the Discord, you can source it just in Twitch chat. You can always punch that in, and it should pop up. Thank you for saying something. I appreciate it. So yeah, I'm excited to answer your guys' questions on the fly. Because, you know, it's one thing to regurgitate information from somebody else. It's another thing entirely, like, do you know this? Like, can you handle this on the fly sort of deal? And I can. I've spent a very long time with this. And I have very robust data sets to back up my convictions about this subject. And so, yeah, I would like to do that in real time. Yep. Oh, that link goes to the Notion board? Oh, for the plants? Oh, no. No. all right, man. Okay, let me see here. Where the heck would that have been? Got a scroll bar. I should just, you know what? We're control finding. Find plants. Plant. How about plant? Is there a plant one? Find next. House plant tour. Nope, that's not it. Gallery. That's the one. And I'll get rid of Notion, board, and gallery. Okay, save. There we go. Thank you, Mal. I appreciate it. Absolutely feral. All right, we're locked in. So yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm excited to get to those things. Now, again, I think most of it will be answered in the course of the series where appropriate. If it's a question about singleness, it'll be addressed during the singleness portion. If it's about dating, it'll be addressed during the dating portion. If it's about marriage, etc. So I suspect, I could be wrong, I suspect most of the questions will be answered organically, just as a matter of course. But I'm excited to see which ones are not. So yeah, looking forward to it. It's been harassing me everywhere, the turbo thing. Oh, interesting, Guts. Interesting. Okay. Weird. Even on my channel. That's rude. I can answer this. Getting past the birds and the bees talk. Yeah, I was going to say, being done with the whole thing, in part because that's in there. Not sure what scares me about these talks, but you know my story, so maybe you already understand. Yeah. Yep. I do, Gail. The air is human, but so is to grow drink water, weird plants. To grow. Separate thought. Drink water. Semicolon. Weird plants. Got it, Ski. I got there in the end. We arrived. First Festa on Monday. That's right. Monday, you guys. May the 4th. And may the 4th be with you. On Monday, first Festa of the quarter. You guys, it's pretty exciting. That's going to be an all-day party. So if you're like living in the future, if you're like in Aussie land, yeah, it's going to be the next day. So like I said, all-day Pacific time, I'm pretty sure is what I put out there. In other words, whatever would be all day for like me, that's the all day. You guys are welcome to join whenever, so you can get there. There's no like early, there's no cutoff, and there's no like you must like wait in line to join. Be there whenever the heck you want, okay? So if you're there a day early, by all means. If you want to hang out in voice calls, you do you, okay? There's no, live your life. Live your life. So happy and looking forward to seeing you guys for the Festa. Again, bring a friend. Low stakes environment, you guys. Low stakes third space where we get to meet people and chit chat and all that jazz and practice some humaning stuff where you can just quickly duck out if you need to, whatever. There's no like commitment involved. Low stakes. So great opportunity to get some humaning reps in. That's Monday the 4th. And then if for whatever reason you can't make it even for 10, 20, 30 minutes, on Monday, which you're allowed to hang out as long as you like, as long as little, come and go as you please. We're going to be mixing and mingling, walking between rooms and all that jazz. If you can't, for whatever reason, make it on Monday, we have another one on the 9th, Saturday the 9th, 8 days from right now. That same thing. It's going to be going all day, people coming and going. So if you can attend both, great. If you can only attend one, that's why we're doing 2. If you can attend neither, I don't know how that's possible. Some of y'all got busy schedules. Some as busy as me, so that's a shame. I tried to have a weekday and a weekend on there, so I really hope that we get to see you for even a little bit of time. Come and hang out. Come and hang out. He's there to come in to Rumble in hopes of less lag. Let's go, less lag. Let's do it. I mean, the lag would probably be because I'm behind on chat. That's the lag. The main lag is me. Oh, I'm the problem. It's me. Hashtag question for class. Oh yeah, question for class. That would have been a good one. That would have been a good one. Caleb! It's good to see you, Caleb. Welcome. Went into the city as threatened. Went to the speakeasy. It was a real speakeasy back in the day. Oh, not just aesthetics. Bookstore had Kurt Vonnegut, Catch-22. Saw Atlas Shrugged in the back. Okay. Very nice, very nice. Hey, they got a copy of Atlas. That's pretty cool. I'm glad to hear that you had a good time, Caleb. That's cool. Real cool. Zacchaeus! Pleasure to see you, sir. Pleasure to see you indeed. I'm going to have to pour a glass here because I got to start raising glasses to people. It's good to see you. Thumper! Oh, my word. I donned a dapper marine on my screen. Love the blue tie. There's a blue tie? Where's a blue tie? I'm wearing a black tie. Is the lighting crazy for you guys? Oh, my God. The blue and the aggressive stripes. We do love the aggressive stripes. Dealer's choice of how many chef's kisses. Ooh. We doing it, gang. Get them chef's kisses. It's good to see you, Thump. Mentioning Kurt Vonnegut, did you know that he is from the area that I grew up in Ilium, New York? Vonnegut's works is a direct model based on Schenectady. Schenectady. I think I've heard this word before. I've never seen it written. So it's Schenectady, right? Because that's hilarious. What a funny name and a hilarious word. And I love that you wrote that out for me, Guts. This was a gift from you to me, and I'm grateful for it. You have my thanks. What did you miss? Mouth breathing mostly, Gail. Mouth breathing. Yeah, mouth breathing. Okay, so for realsies Gus talk, you guys. I'll say, before I get into pouring and all the rest of it, here's something that I'm going to be doing. I want to set aside dedicated time for those of you with questions, whether they've been submitted anonymously or if they're follow-up questions from a given portion of something, and we will know whether or not I have spoken to something that fits within one of the categories. Like, again, if it's a singleness-related question, if I'm off into dating and your question wasn't answered, the timeliness kind of matters. And so what I would like to do, okay, given this some thought, and I talked to some of the capos and above about this, what I would like to do is have a Q&A portion, if it's at all possible, at the tail end of each of the sections. Okay, at the end of singleness, do a Q&A session. At the end of dating, a Q&A. At the end of engagement, and so on. Okay, and so yeah, that's going to be tidally locked to each of the sections. That's the plan. So if you are not, incidentally, if you are enjoying the content, ridiculous. If you are enjoying any of this, if you take any value of this, if you think that any of this is worth the bajillion hours that went into it and all the blood, sweat, and the tears and the misery, I'd be grateful if you guys would consider supporting this project. The best way to do that would be Rumble Premium. I'm going to roll that little ad for it here in a second. I'll drop a discount code on the screen for anybody who wants to do that. All of that support, 100% of it, minus the fee for Mastercard or whoever you use, goes directly to the streamer. And if you do so on my page, then yeah, all of that goes directly to me and I get credit, and then they pay me for that. And it's the whole to-do. So yeah, I will be grateful and a half if you guys would consider doing that. Big thanks to the public patrons who support, whether it's Rumble, Coffee, Patreon, however it is. I get to do this. I get to sit down and put concerted time and effort into serving you in this particular medium, in this particular way, because of you guys. So especially large thanks are in order for the public patrons who have taken that $5 a month to the next level. That's Aki, Leanne, Gail, Goose, Kira, Abby, Tink, Helly, May, Karma, Pencil, Pre, Retro, Rick, Ryan, Mouse, Trotsky, Pell, CJ number 1, and Zen. Thank you guys. Again, any good that comes from this project can be traced right back to you lovely lot. Thank you. Now, we're going to run this thing. We're going to do it. I'm going to put a QR code up on the screen. If you want to sign up for Rumble Premium, then this will be for you. And there will be a discount code up here, and it'll be pinned to the top of Rumble chat before I lock things down and start into the lecture and everything else. So without further ado, let's get it going. Let's get it going. This whole project is funded by viewers like you, folks who have voted with their wallets and sacrificed to give this thing a shot at a future. If you're not already a member, you click that button to sign up. $99 a year for the discounted rate, or $9.99 a month if you don't want to go for the annual just yet. You get the entire experience ad-free, plus access to exclusive content not just on this channel, but on every channel on Rumble. It's also one of the best options to support this channel and my work. So if I've been a value add to your life, consider joining up today using that link below. All right. Ingredients, you guys. Ingredients. Proper real Gus talks. And that means we get locked in with the components. First component of an ideal talk, good drink. Okay? And so let me know what it is you've got in chat that you are partaking of for good drink. It needn't be alcoholic, like mine indeed will be. But let me know whether it's water, whether it's coffee, you got some Gatorade, some crispy little juice drink, something. You let me know in chat. what it is you're going to be sipping on, but I have got me a new bottle of Black Pits, and I am very excited indeed. Do you know why? Because I haven't had a Black Pits in 4 years? 5 years? Something like that. Maybe 6 years? Long time ago. Maybe longer than that, actually. Maybe longer. Been a long heckin' time. Anyways, if you're not familiar, that's a Teeling. And the reason that this is special is because of how strange it is. Most folks who know anything about whiskey know that peated is associated with Islay. That's a Scotch, okay? And so that's a special thing, and that comes on account of the peat that they use to heat the stills and all that jazz, or to roast the barley rather, not to heat the stills, to roast the barley. And so that's like unique to there in a historical sense. And historically also, Ireland mocked Scotland for being poor. Okay, they mocked Scotland for not having trees and timber, specifically on Islay, which is like grass and peat bogs. That's the whole thing, right? There's a couple trees, but no real lumber, timber to speak of. And so Ireland always looked down on Scotland and was like, ugh, disgusting. Your Scotch is gross because you roast your barley with the peat and therefore it's smoky and nobody likes that. That's disgusting. Well, it turns out that peated Scotch is quite popular. And so in a twist of fate and a bit of irony for them, this is Teeling, which is an Irish whiskey. And they offer a peated whiskey, and that's the Black Pits, which it had a really reasonable price point a bunch of years ago, but it seems to have caught on, and people now know it exists. Oh, and so the price of it is no longer the most accessible, I'm afraid. So, anyways, yeah, we're a little bit of bottle asthma. We're gonna pour that thing. You ready? All right, let's see. Ooh. Well. Did you hear that? That was a crispy little one, wasn't it? That one had a little bit of zhuzh to it. That went. I am very interested to see how this goes, because I haven't had it in so long. My palate has changed since then. Interesting. Okay. We'll see. We'll see proper in a minute. Okay, component number 2. Element number 2 of an ideal talk would be good smoke, but I do not get to partake of a cigar here tonight, so we'll have to skip that one. Element number 3, dear friends, is good company, and this is where each week I come empty-handed, and I rely solely on you, lovely lot, to provide. I'm grateful to you each for that, for the time you're sacrificing to be here, for the time and attention. It's no small thing. So it's to you, that incredible caliber of human with whom I get to do life, I get to raise my first glass. Cheers to you, that remarkable sort. Interesting. It's milder than I expected. I wonder how old it is. That's my question. That is my question. No age statement? Oh, no age statement. Huh. That's concerning. Alright, well. Interesting. Alright, whatever. It's not bad. I don't hate it at all. I think it'd be really good with a cigar. That's my instinct, is that it'd be pretty darned well with a smoke. Oh, okay. Here we go. Here we go. Duckling! Good to see you, Duckling. Welcome in. Welcome. Thank you for the lurk. I appreciate you very much. I got a drink. Bailey's. Oh, and a Michio Kaku book. Oh, okay. I met that dude. I mean, I went to a symposium that he did at university when I was there. So, yep, my buddy. I mean, I sort of met him, and then I was like, hi. You know, like, a buddy of mine, like, was it a physicist, like a physics major, and he got his physics book signed by Michio Kaku right there. So I was, like, standing there, like, okay, neato, sort of thing. But, yeah. So, met is a strong word, but you know what I'm after. You know what I'm after? Now I've got it. Literal pronunciation is Schenectady. See? Also, though, you got to write titty, and that's fun. That's fun. Thank you for the lurks. I appreciate you guys. All of you guys pulling up tabs. I appreciate it. The multiple tabs, you guys, means an awful heckin' lot. Unsweetened iced tea. Oh, okay. Very hardcore. Once the pasta is ready, some peach wine. Oh, that was a crispy one. It was. That had some zhuzh, didn't it? 2 liter of Coke. Okay, we got the Coke. We got the Coke. Don't admit to doing drugs, you guys. Don't admit to doing drugs. All right, so. Hoo boy. You guys ready? I'm ready. Took a call. Checking in. Seeing how you're doing. Seeing how the layover is going. Intro, I don't chagrin you taking a call. Kind of important. Kind of important to make sure things are lined up for the travels and travails. Hopefully more traveling than travailing, but... Alright, last check on lurks here before I start locking things down. We got our MySpace top 8. Oh, you ended. There's a leaf in my way. Oh, you ended too. And so did you. Oh, hello, police. Then who? That's a lot of ending. Interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Oh, jeez, there's really, this leaf is just right in my way. It is right in my way. Okay, let me check. Last chance. Everybody use the restroom. Hopefully you guys are all got your anti-tilt locked in and ready to go. Okay. Oh, we get to pull in that tab. Bet. Okay. Game on. Which means we turn on the banner. Means we disable raids on Twitch and on Rumble. All right, doors are closed. We're locked in. It's time. As ever, I'm going to be missing chat, you guys. I'm going to be missing chat. Timestamp us, because I'm going to be rocking and rolling here. Wait, what the heck? Why is my chat running over? Since when does my chat do that? Why did my chat get moved? Did that get reset? Why did that... I hate when OBS updates, it breaks things. It breaks things. There. That's obnoxious. At first glance, it did seem awfully high up there. It was. All right. Mel sneaking in a disappointment pack. All right, all right. Glad I saw that at the 11th hour. Okay, I'm not going to see any more disappointment packs. I'm not going to see chat. So if any of you are trying to, like, redeem those things, you're going to be disappointed. You're going to be extra disappointed. The Relationships Masterclass. The preface. Tonight, dear friends, we are going to be examining the need for this material. Tonight, we are going to be examining the state of our unions. Okay? The state of relationships. Now, much of what I'm going to be talking about is centered on statistics in America, in the American West, the Western world more broadly, because that's where most robust statistics are. There are obviously a bajillion countries out there, but very few of them have, the far-flung ones, very few have robust measuring techniques in place to get reliable data on such things. In America, however, there is indeed an incredibly robust infrastructure of polls and surveys, stuffs, and research things, and college, university type stuff. So much work has gone into gathering data to understand this sort of thing. And so the most reliable data for the biggest chunk of my audience will come from here. But there's a phrase that where the America goes, the world follows sort of thing. And so whatever trends we are into, and they're not all good, the rest of the world can expect to see similar things. Now, Canada has, like, right around us in our immediate sphere, Canada has a lot of the same stuff going on. There's very little daylight between us when it comes to relationships. And so you can have them be more or less interchangeable in this regard, okay? A lot of that also goes for Europe. A lot of Europe. Not all of Europe, but a lot of Europe. Good trends and bad. So, that's sort of some disclaimer, but additional boilerplate here, and it is going to be my wont to say this at the beginning of each installment of this series, the boilerplate. I am not a licensed whatever, okay? I'm just some guy in a tie who knows a thing or three and has spent countless hours studying and living this stuff with intentionality, and sitting at the feet of the giants, the greats who have gone before me. So as always, your mileage may vary. All right? How much stock you put in all of that, grain of salt. Okay? Grain of salt. You can look up the things, you can confirm the things that I teach, the info that I pass along. I encourage you to check me on these things. Okay? You don't need to take my word for it. I'm not pulling the wool over anybody's eyes or trying to bamboozle anybody. So, where I have done all of this work, it is in hopes that you needn't have to recreate all of that. But, as ever, I encourage you to do so. If you are concerned about anything, do all that stuff. Go do your due diligence, all right? All right. Teaching this topic over the years has always been something of a coin toss, okay? I've said, I'm going to talk to you guys about relationships. Just that line right there, okay? To a room full of teens, like middle school aged boys or whatever, okay? And I've heard audible gasps of anticipation as they crowded around to listen, okay? The same sentence, I'm going to talk to you guys about relationships, delivered to a room full of military folks, Marines, elicited audible derision instead. While in a similarly sized room of different military folks, it caused a hush to fall over the crowd of 20-somethings who hurried to pull out pen and paper. What gives? Why does the same declaration evoke such different responses? Why the spread? For some, this topic is an exciting one. Maybe even your favorite one. Some people just absolutely love talking about romance and finding love. The subject calls to mind the rush of euphoria she had when the cute guy asked her out. The luxurious, perhaps a bit cloying, fragrance of the Valentine's bouquet she pressed to her face. The giddy excitement she felt when she wore a new dress and his jaw dropped. Or you're the guy realizing, wow, she dressed up like that? For me? I'm thinking, well, I must be doing something right, as you pick your jaw up off of the floor. For others, the topic is an unwelcome one. One that pulls you involuntarily to a place of deep hurt, even at its mere mention. Having counseled many, many people on the subject over the years, from Marines to baristas, from middle school boys to high school girls, from north to south, from east to west, all over, different countries, different cultures, I can tell you that this group, the folks who fall into this category, for whom this is an unwelcome topic, this group is a large one, and that it's gender agnostic, by the way. In fact, of all the formal and informal counseling sessions I've held over the years, there has been no more common source of pain and regret than people's experiences in relationships. Many express deep regret for having given their heart to someone who did not value it. Many regret having given so much of themselves, emotionally, physically, to someone who wasn't worthy of their affections. And many walk away from those experiences feeling thin, like they're somehow less for having been treated like an object rather than a person. But by far, the largest cohort out there these past years is the group of you who, upon hearing mention of relationships, are neither giddy nor heartbroken. And that's because the majority of young folks in 2026 have no experience with romantic relationships at all, good or bad. According to the Survey Center on American Life, 2024 data reported in 2026, only 56% of Gen Z adults said they had been in a romantic relationship at any point during their teenage years. I'm going to say that again. 56% of Gen Z adults said, only 56% of Gen Z adults said that they had been in any kind of romantic relationship at any point during their teenage years. Which compares to 76% of you Gen Xers out there and 78% of baby boomers. Current young adults, which is ages 18 to 35 in here, okay? Pew Research says among never married single adults under 40, roughly 42% say they've never been in a committed romantic relationship. Institute for Family Studies, between 2025 and 2026 data, they wrote a thing called the State of Our Unions. Okay, the dating recession is what it's called. This was a nationally representative survey of unmarried young adults, 22 to 35. Only 30 to 31% reported actively dating, either casually or exclusively. 74% of young women and 64% of young men had not been on a single date or had only dated, quote, a few times in the past year. Fewer than half of current high school seniors reported that they are dating, a sharp drop from the more than 80% from the same age group in the 90s. Researchers, including the Institute for Family Studies, have labeled this the dating recession. Okay? Gen Z shows higher rates of prolonged singleness, lower recent dating frequency, and more reliance on apps rather than on in-person initiation. 45% of Gen Z men, for instance, in one survey said they'd never asked someone out in person. 45%. Basically half of Gen Z have never asked someone out in person. Gen Alpha, these are people roughly born, it's like 2007 to 2025, somewhere in here. Is all the case. This data is still emerging, obviously, since the oldest ones are only in their mid-teens at this point, but early indicators point to continued or worsening trends in social isolation and difficulty forming friendships and or relationships, with studies noting higher loneliness and fewer in-person social experiences post-pandemic, which will surprise no one here. Common factors cited across all of these reports include 1. The ubiquity of smartphones, social media, and dating apps, which, we'll talk much more about this later, concentrate attention on a small percentage of users. Number 2, fear of rejection is a common thing that pops up all across the board here, okay? 3, changing social norms. This would be a decline of third spaces. Again, hint, hint, something, something, Cosa Nostra Festa that we host in the Mafia Community Discord. Links in the usual places. More time spent online, confusion surrounding partner expectations, and much more. Number 4, economic pressures, longer education timelines, and delayed adulthood milestones. Increased focus, finally, 5, increased focus on individual achievement over early relationships. So, the feeling experienced by most single folks today when they hear what topic we're after will be, statistically, neither glad nor sad. It's anxious and it's confused. What are you supposed to do if you like somebody? Say hi in Twitch chat? Huh? You DM them? You text? Do you call? Carrier pigeon? Smoke signals? What are the rules now? Is asking for their number stalkery? Is that stalker behavior? Is that, I don't know. I got told off. Okay, I got told off for holding the door for one girl. And then another was annoyed because I didn't hold the door. So, chivalry is what even is a date nowadays? Does it have to be in person? Can we have a digital date? Does that count? Is that something? Is it like a percentage? Am I supposed to offer to pay? Am I supposed to pick an activity? Or am I supposed to let them choose? Is it Netflix? Is there chill? Is there any chill? What are the rules? I hear so many of you saying, what are the rules? I just want to know what the rules are. I don't care what they are even. I just want to know what they are. For what it's worth, it's not hard to see why y'all are anxious about the prospect of dating these days. I don't know who is texting me. Everybody I know is here. I don't appreciate being texted right now. I'm in the middle of something. What is happening? Which of you texted me? Which of you did it? Who is to blame? Who done it? Unbelievable. Again, it is not hard to see why y'all are anxious about the prospect of dating. There's more ambiguity and expectations than ever before. The right thing is a series of moving goalposts, and there are fewer and fewer voices of those who have abided best practices to learn from. So, it's a minefield of conflicting and often incoherent internet advice. And yet, all of this societal deterioration and social confusion does not mean that people have stopped wanting relationships. People still want to pair off. Not just casual whatevers, people still want marriage. They want real commitment. They want real relationships. According to Pew Research data from 2023, only 8% of U.S. adults don't want to marry. Isn't that something? So even while actual marriage rates have declined, the actual rates, the desire to marry remains as high as ever. There are important cultural shifts in how we approach dating and relationships today, yes. But the reality is that despite those changes and the uncertainty and challenges that come with them, the vast majority of single people today still wish to marry. What's more, most of you will marry. 80 to 85% of adults over the age of 30 either are or have been married, which means that the overwhelming majority of you listening will experience all 4 distinct relationship phases: singleness, dating, engagement, and marriage, which is the aim of this series, to tackle all of them in turn. For this very reason. Will everybody experience all of these? No. But statistically, most of you will. And learning about each of them is critical for you to help the people in your life. Even if you don't put something into practice immediately, even if you are long since married right now, do you have kids? They're going to need this information. They're going to need to know this, and you're going to need to know how to help them. You're going to need to know how to counsel them. You got friends. You got family, co-workers, students. This information will be valuable for everybody, but the overwhelming majority of people will be able to put it into practice themselves. But those numbers are also a bit misleading. I want to be clear here. And that's because they include everyone over 30. Which includes the 50-year-old plus population, 90 to 95% of whom either are or have been married, okay? And that skews the numbers upward kind of dramatically. The truth is, of the folks who are now in their 80s, about 80% of women and 65% of men were married by age 25. And this data is that's just Census Bureau, okay? This a chunk of data is all Census Bureau, fairly simple, straightforward stuff. So for folks coming of age in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, the vast majority, 80 to 90% of women and 70 to 85% of men, depending on the exact year in these 3 decades here, were married by age 30. Today, that number looks quite different. Only about 62% of women and 54% of men have married by age 30. And in case you've heard now several times, why is it a higher percentage of women than of men? It's because of the long-standing, not budging, all through human history, not going anywhere. Women prefer to date men who are slightly older than them. That is the statistical reality across the board. Several years older, who are a little more established and all of that jazz. Okay, so there's this gap here. We will talk about it more later in the series. But for now, in case you're like, why is it more women? It's because there's a gap there where maybe the girl is at 28, 29, and the guy is 32, whatever, and he's outside the range. So, okay. So, only about 62% of women and 54% of men are married by age 30. That's today. And that's in part because despite still having the desire to marry, young people are waiting longer to marry than any generation in history. Why? Well, there's a lot that goes into it, incidentally. There's a lot that goes into it, but the data point, all of the data points to some common culprit. Some common culprits here, some of which I've already mentioned. 1, confusion surrounding modern dating because of novel communications technologies, okay? Once upon a time, it was real simple. If you liked a girl, you asked her. You asked her out, okay? In person. And you asked her to go see a motion picture with you. Yeah, you're gonna go see a motion picture, isn't that fun? Or if you were born a little after that, after its invention and proliferation, you called her, okay? Gave her a ring on the phone, talked to her mom. Hey, is so-and-so there? Can I, yep, Now, though, it's a gnarly mess of dating apps, social media, and all manner of roundabout ways to communicate with someone. Do I like their pictures? Do I comment on a post they made? Is that creepy? Am I stalking? Do I tell a friend who then posts something on their social media about the Okay, next, fear of divorce. Reason why people are waiting longer to get married than ever before. Fear of divorce. There's no small number of you here now who grew up in a home broken by divorce, who, to this day, can still feel the pain that it caused. Many young people are wary of marriage for fear that they'll choose poorly, and that their marriage will end the same way, putting that same pain, incidentally, on any kids they may have. Next, economic security. Fear of having their career goals derailed. Seemingly gone are the days where marriage is seen as the first step into adulthood. Instead, survey after survey shows, polling data, so much data, increasingly shows that young adults view marriage as a sort of capstone achievement. Something you do after you've achieved stability in everything else, rather than as a foundational part of being an adult, of adulthood. And since marriage does indeed compound complexity, that's true, many are choosing to avoid the extra variable of adding another person until they feel they've achieved self-sufficiency, so that they don't need to worry, as it were. They won't be destitute should the thing go wrong, etc. Okay? The specific phrasing captured by the Census Bureau for this data point is that adults between 24 and 30, or 25, between 25 and 34, now prioritize living on their own with a job before marriage. And that means more school, which means more years spent in higher education, which means pushed back timelines for relationships and or starting a family. Next, the availability of options, i.e. choice overload. Psychologist Barry Schwartz popularized the paradox of choice in his book of the same name. While more options theoretically seem better, too many can lead to anxiety, indecision, unrealistic expectations, dissatisfaction with choices made, and ultimately avoidance of commitment or prolonged searching. Let me break all those down. For online dating, apps create the illusion of an almost endless pool of potential partners. Okay? Thousands of profiles, tens of thousands, millions, perhaps, of profiles at your fingertips at any given time. This fosters FOMO. Fear of missing out on someone better. Why settle for this person when something better is just a couple swipes away? Which leads to constant comparison between all of those prospects and higher standards. Incidentally, since there's an unlimited pool, you raise your standards. Standards that are hard to meet in reality. Users often engage in endless swiping, ghosting, or situationships rather than investing in one person, which leads to burnout and fatigue. Next, studies and analyses consistently link this to decision paralysis. People struggle to choose or commit because the next better option is, just a swipe away. Lower satisfaction. Even when matches do occur, don't miss this, even when you do match up with someone, people report less contentment because they second guess whether or not they settled. Next, leads to reduced commitment. The abundance mindset makes it easier to keep options open rather than invest deeply. Though they are cited as having an effect on every user, regardless of age, for Gen Z in particular, modern dating apps are frequently cited as a chief culprit for fatigue of choice. In other words, too many options is giving young people analysis paralysis. Piggybacking off of that, because of the perceived bottomless sea of choices, the expectation to find one's soulmate has never been higher. It's been a thing, but it's never been like it is now. I have much more to say about the idea of a soulmate, as it is, later in the series, but for now I'll simply affirm that the probability and statistics of modern dating solutions do indeed lead to an increased perception that one ought be able to find such a person, that indeed they are out there. It doesn't seem like a pipe dream. And as a teaser for my remarks to come, I'll say here that this mindset is not healthy, nor statistically is it likely to lead to positive relational outcomes. The TLDR here: if you're looking for someone who perfectly complements you in every way, fulfilling your deepest desires and fantasies and awakening the best of you in the process, have you met any humans? Okay. Finally, many believe the misguided notion that marriage is just living together by an antiquated name. Rather than put a ring on it, many are choosing to play house instead, thinking it a low-stakes alternative. Among unmarried adults, roughly ages 18 to 34 or 22 to 35, never married or not currently married. This is our population, okay? There's a couple different studies. I've sort of brought them together here. So 18 to 34, 22 to 35, sort of this age range here. Never married, not currently married, okay? So never have. Of them, roughly 1 in 4, it's 24 to 26%, okay, are currently cohabiting with an unmarried partner. Among never married adults in their early 40s, which is a proxy for longer-term singles, about 22% were cohabitating as of 2022. Okay? Among adults, that's just 18 to 44 overall, 59% have ever cohabited with an unmarried partner, surpassing the share of those in the same age range who have ever been married, which is roughly 50%. Among all age ranges, the number of couples who live together before marriage is 70%. Cohabitation is now a normative experience, in particular for young adults. What used to be the exception is now the rule. Depending on the study, anywhere from 50 to 65% of Americans believe that living together before marriage will improve their odds of relationship success. A bit of a teaser, I said that this is a misguided notion. We will have all of the data and stuff and talk about it much more later in the series. So what do all of these share? All of these reasons for all of the visible statistical problems facing a generation of people in relationship turmoil. What do all of these things share? What do all of these causal things share? Listing these things off here, it was confusion surrounding modern dating, fear of divorce, economic security or insecurity, okay? The availability of options, choice overload. The increase of expectations, looking for one's soulmate, okay? And that, living together is just as good, so why get married? What do all of these share? What's the commonality between all these reasons? Why folks are getting married later and later and later? Fear. Fear of being embarrassed. Fear of rejection. Fear of ending up like your parents. Fear of missing out on experiences. Fear of missing out on opportunities, both personal and professional. But not just fear. Aside from fear, pride. I will live life on my terms, thank you very much. I don't need anyone else telling me how to live my life. Why would I listen to old people about dating? They're the reason we grew up in broken homes. They're the reason the world's a mess. They're the reason I can't get a house. They are all living in their castles and their own little bubbles and don't know how the real world works now anyways. I won't let someone else interfere with my self-expression or my freedom. Or about this one? I don't need a man to tell me what I should or should not do with my body or my career. Screw this guy in a tie and the patriarchy he came from. Besides fear, and besides pride, objectification and pursuit of sexual gratification. Why would I limit my sex life to just one person by getting married? Why would I willingly restrict my sexual expression and liberation? Besides, what happens if they get fat? I don't want them anymore. I'm still young and hot. I'll just use the parts of you that gratify me until they don't. And why go through the emotional hassle of loving someone when you can just hook up? These are what guide modern decision-making for relationships. Not wise counsel, not statistics or empirical data, not even hopeful optimism. Fear, pride, and sexual pursuit, sexual gratification. It's no wonder, therefore, that single folks right now are living in a dating recession. It's no wonder that people are hesitant to venture out of their homes. It's no wonder we're choosing more and more digital substitutes over the real thing. It's no wonder the young people are checking out. For all the connectivity our technology today offers us, it has left us more isolated than ever before. Self-reported loneliness and isolation in college-age students is the highest it's ever been. We have lost community. And because we don't have a community of loving people around us to help us through the complexity and messiness of life, we face the daunting world of romantic relationships alone. Now, and if you've spent any amount of time around my channel or the Mafia Project, you already know how I feel about community. But you may yet be asking an important question. What exactly are you advocating for here, Gus? That we return to the world of yesteryear, to the world of black and white, carbureted cars and lead paint? Is that what you're saying, Gus? We have to go back? Just head on back to a better time? No. No. I have no delusions that we either could or even should go back to an earlier time. Every era has its challenges and its problems. There is no golden age to which we ought return. Even still, my heart continues to break seeing so many being beaten up by the rough seas of life. Do you remember that? Do you remember when I talked about this, our medium, the internet, being a raging sea in which so many are drowning? Do you recall that I said it's my purpose here on the internet, as I see it, to dive back in, tethered to solid ground, and pull as many as I'm able to shore? This is no different. There are solid ground. There are chunks of solid ground out there. There are timeless, data-backed, and empirically demonstrable principles and best practices that lead to better relational outcomes. There are. And we needn't all move into little house on the prairie cabins to see their benefits realized in our lives and in the lives of those around us. And for my part, I want for your thriving. I'll not content myself with your mere survival. Some of you I've known for a long time now. Years, in some cases. Others of you are new around here. Maybe we've only begun to know each other the past 6 or so months. Still others are hearing my voice for the first time and are still trying to decide whether or not hearing this material and going through this is worth listening to my voice to get it. But no matter which of those described you, represented amongst this audience are folks of all ages, all backgrounds, and all manner of experiences with the world of romantic relationships. And when I announced that I was preparing to do here what I've done with countless others over the years and deliver a series of talks on relationships, the pupils of all the single people dilated visibly. Some with giddy joy and anticipation. Some with remembered traumas. And most, statistically, with some measure of anxiety. It is my hope in this series to alleviate pain where possible, embolden the willing, and eliminate confusion in order that you might have clear guidelines for how to do this relationships thing well. Eliminate confusion. I don't want you to check out. All the folks who've resigned themselves to a life of loneliness, who want a relationship but look at the trouble and say, I don't know that it's worth it. I don't know that I don't know that I got what it takes. I don't know that I can stomach it. It's too confusing for me. Maybe I'm just not cut out. I opt out. I don't want you to. I don't want you all. I don't want you to check out. I don't want you to give up on something that may yet be within reach. And I don't want you to be led by fear, pride, or your hormones in getting there. I will, to the best of my ability, give you concrete guidance on how to do what. And I will do so not from a place of judgment and condemnation, but from a place of understanding and compassionate love. For those of you unfamiliar with compassion, it means that you are moved to do something about it. It is one thing to feel for another. It is altogether different to be moved to do something about it. That's what compassion is. And it is my hope to bring to bear compassionate love to serve you. Which leads me to my next point. My final point. I've many times spoken about humility and pride here on my channel, here in this community. In the Gus Talk series that we did on friendship, I made the argument that the most critical element to making and keeping friends was humility. I'd like to talk some more about that right now, as it pertains to this series. In ancient Greece, we find the earliest examples of a tradition known as maritime piloting. Perhaps some of you are familiar with it. Back in the day, when a ship sailed into an unfamiliar port, the captain often had to acknowledge that he lacked sufficient knowledge of the area to guide his vessel and whomever else in the cargo, what all was on it, into port safely through the dangerous rocks and shoals and sandbars and all the rest of it, all right? So, acknowledging this, he would raise a flag that signaled to anyone who could see the ship, right? Anybody out there and could see out, I require a pilot. That's what this signal meant. I require a pilot. Upon seeing such a signal, a pilot familiar with the waters of that area would jump into a little boat, row out to the ship, and come aboard. Once he was safely on deck, the crew would raise a different flag that was used to signal pilot aboard, so any other pilots in the area knew that they didn't need to head out. Everyone who saw that flag knew that the ship was in good hands. They could rest easy knowing it would not run aground or wreck in the harbor. The pilot would then commandeer the ship, giving instructions to all aboard and guide that vessel safely to port. Despite being thousands of years removed from then, however, piloting exists still in what is essentially the same role today. All over the world, in ports all over the world, maritime piloting yet exists, yet remains. So my question for you is this. Will you, captains of your own lives, exercise the humility required to do the same? Will you submit yourselves to the guidance of another? Will you quiet your own mind long enough to hear the wisdom of someone else? If you are to benefit in any way whatsoever from this series, this is the first hurdle you must overcome. You may be tempted at times to scoff at or dismiss many of the things I say or teach as we move forward. In particular, you might think something ought go without saying. Oh, please, why bother bringing that up? Duh, you laugh when I say it. Or, conversely, you may think unimportant, something that I place special emphasis on. Remember, none of us is perfect. And so long as we're being good faith actors, we're all doing the best we can with what information we have. But it is the height of hubris to believe ourselves somehow superior to those around us who have different information than we do. Especially if our lives are objectively terrible. This series aims to equip you with the knowledge necessary to become wise in this area of life, a skilled navigator in this. And if you've been following the sage counsel of TikTok and Insta only for your relation or situationships to be a sore spot in your life, then perhaps it's time to hear some ideas from places you haven't yet. And maybe, just maybe, that might include some random guy in a tie on the internet. So, if you're ready to learn how to navigate the perilous waters of relationships today, from singleness to dating to engagement to marriage, set an alarm for next week, gang. Set an alarm. 5 p.m. Pacific time. Right back here on Rumble, Twitch, YouTube. Turn on your alerts. Join the Discord. We're going to span it all. And that concludes the formal portion of this. That concludes the formal preface, the kickoff to our series. Again, there's a command you can punch in !questions or Notion, and it'll bring you to a board with a single question on it. What relationship related or relationship adjacent question do you have? You can punch that question in as many times as you like and submit as many questions as you would like. I'm the only one who can see that board, and they're all anonymous anyways. No one else has access to it anyhow, but they're also anonymous. Several of you have submitted questions I'm excited to get to. Some of which I do indeed address as a matter of course throughout the series. At least one is very specific, and I was not set to address it specifically, but I will. Again, it is my aim to do a Q&A session at the end of each appropriate section. So if it pertains to singleness, I will address those questions in an appropriate forum at the end of the singleness portion of things. Same thing goes for dating and so on. All right? I'll be tackling those things. So submit your questions, whatever they may be, and as many as you like. And again, they're anonymous. Whatever embarrassing questions you might have, let's see about getting you some answers. Because again, it is my aim in this, my chief aim, not just to inform. It's not just, gee whiz, isn't that neat information. It's not just knowledge. I want to reduce confusion. I want to bring clarity. All of the research that I've done for this over the past several years, as I have reformed and refined this and added to this and subtracted to this and all of the ups and downs, and maybe I start it here, maybe I do it there, consistently shows me that the largest demographic of people facing the world of romantic relationships today, in particular single people, their chief concern is not past hurts. Their chief concern is, I have no idea what the hell to do. I have no idea what the hell is appropriate. What's allowed? What's a faux pas now? Am I allowed to say this? Am I allowed to do this? What are the rules? I will be speaking to that. I will be addressing that in, as I said, concrete fashion, with all of the empirical data you could want to back it up. This will not be feels-based, though it will worry about feels. It will not be led by them. Again, I want for your thriving. I'm not here to pay lip service to whatever sounds nice. I'm here to equip you guys with the tools necessary to do this well, such that you find success. That's what I'm after. Not to coddle. And also not to condemn. It is my hope to serve you. And I can only serve those who will allow themselves to be served. I can only teach those who will submit themselves to the teaching. I can only equip those who will allow me to load up your pack. I want for your success. And so there are many of you. This is a very real hazard as we proceed. There are a great many of you who have been told a great many lies about how all this works. And the disaster-tastrophe that is your romantic relationships, that part of your life, is evidence that you have been lied to. Just like the lie of living together first will set you up for success in your relationships. No, it won't. It absolutely will not, demonstrably. In fact, it will do the opposite. It will sabotage your relationship. It will sabotage your odds, your chances at success. You are shooting yourself in the foot with so very many of the lies that you've believed, many of which because they sound nice. It will take humility indeed for you guys to hear a viewpoint, to hear opinions perhaps, and to hear data in particular that you don't like. My expectation of those doing hard mode here in the Mafia, expectation, because I do indeed have them. My expectations is that we negotiate in good faith, that we be good faith actors, that we recognize that we're not perfect, that we're not infallible, that we're all screw-ups, including me, the disappointment in chief. We don't have every single thing of every single subject figured out. It's not possible. Good faith negotiation that leads to treat people the way you want to be treated. You know, just the hardest thing in the world. That's why we call it hard mode. I've said before, historically, the people who are the loudest in saying, God, I really wish you'd do a talk about this or that, Gus. I really wish you'd speak to this. I really wish you'd address this topic. Statistically, my own experience, those who are loudest about that are the least likely to show up. Just the way it's been for years now. God, I really wish you'd speak to this thing. Oh, no, I'm not going to be there for it, though. Ooh, yeah, no, I got places to be. Ooh, is that today? Ooh, yeah, I'll get to it. No, you won't. And this is me calling out some people. Some people just want to complain. Some people don't want solutions because it will rob you of your ability to complain. You want to stay where you are. You might hate it. You might chagrin it. You might loathe it. You might complain about it. All that. I wish I could change. I wish this were better. I wish it were different. But your actions will tell me whether or not that's true. Whether or not you make this a priority will inform me whether or not you are negotiating in good faith. I don't need to take your word for it. Your actions will speak volumes. So, if you wish to have a leg to stand on in complaining about relationships, from singlehood all the way to marriage, it's not a good look to ditch any and all information with which you disagree. Solid empirical data abounding in something like this. I hope you will take it seriously, because I don't like you guys suffering. It makes me crazy. And that's it. My plan is to keep these quite short. Quite short. I think there's just like an hour for this one. I would like to do that, because historically when I've done this, I will opine for hour upon hour, endless musings and off rabbit trails, now this and that, and I want them to be concise and shareable. That's my plan. Chop this thing down and get it out there quick. And I can only do that if they're short, concise, and to the point. So tonight was our introduction. Tonight was a bit of a state of where we are. A state of relationships. What we're facing. What perhaps you are facing yourself, or what your children are facing, or what your children will be facing. Next week, we launch into singleness. Next week, it begins in earnest. Next week. And it will not just be the state of singleness, though it will include a bunch of that as well. It will include practical steps of what to do, because that's, again, exactly what I'm after. I want to give you something tangible. I want to give you something you can grip. I want to give you something concrete. I want you to have solid ground. I'm tired of hearing about how many people are floundering, and I want you to have solid ground underneath your feet. This is serious business we are engaged in, this relationships stuff. It affects all of us, whether you are the one worried about the relationships for yourself, or it is your family, or just those around you. This affects all of us. It affects our entire world. And it won't do to sit on the sidelines and abide all of the drivel that is peddled as wisdom. I want you to have actionable steps. And that's my assurance to you, is that you'll get them. No raid tonight, gang. I'm going to be trying in the weeks ahead. Some of them are longer than others, okay? Some of them are slightly longer. I'm trying to truncate them. Sort of as a last-minute change, I'm trying to blend and truncate them down, okay? Trying to get you guys out of here at the hour-and-a-half mark. That's the aim. We start at 5 pum. It's 6:39 right now. No raids out after the rest of these things. You've got the rest of the evening ahead of you. I hope that wherever it is you head off to, that Weekend's Eve treats you kindly. Tomorrow morning, we've got our Just Chatting stream. Right back here. Same place. 10 a.m. Pacific time. 10 a.m. It's also only 90 minutes. This is an opportunity for me to hear from you guys and chat about whatever the heck you want. It's a Just Chatting stream, no formal lecture. Raids are enabled, so people can raid in. All of its doors are open, okay? The strictures of a Friday night formal lecture are gone. And so Saturday mornings is where I really do get to touch bases with you guys and just see, do a temperature check, catch pulses and see that you all are still on this side of the daisies. And then tomorrow night, normal stream, 5 pum Pacific time, Bramble. Now I suspect we'll be finishing Bramble tomorrow night. Bramble of the Mountain King. And the patrons have already been solicited for votes for the next Anything But Apex game. And so far, I've tallied them up. There's still some outstanding, so there could be an upset. But if the game ends tomorrow night, then I've already got a leader to launch into afterwards. And boy, howdy, it's going to be something. I don't know that we'll lock up the game early enough that we launch a second game. I don't suspect I will, because it's me. But yes, Bramble continues. And if you didn't get to see it last Saturday, we had a riot playing that game. So I hope that you'll join us for the goodness to come there as well. And then we've got Tuesday in it. We'll be playing some Ark now that it works and isn't broken. And then next Friday, right back here for Singleness. Singleness. Something that, again, bears repeating. Even if you are in a relationship, good relationship, bad relationship, and you're like, maybe got a ring on it, been happily married 20 years, you need to understand singleness for the benefit of those around you. In particular, for those of you who are puzzled about relationships, maybe about the one that you're in. This might illuminate some of the reasons as to why. And I can think of a handful of old couples in my life who could really stand to benefit from learning that material, from hearing a little bit about what the season of singleness is for, and how one does it right, because there are best practices for the season of singleness. And that would inform the later seasons as well, but many lack the humility. Old dog, new tricks. Perhaps some of you have heard and you yourselves employ. I've made it this far. All right. Okay. Gang, I get to raise my final glass of the night to the caliber of human who would choose humility, who would choose to do hard things. You could spend your Friday night any old where doing any old thing, and yet here you are. And it's a remarkable thing indeed, and it speaks volumes about you. And I'm humbled. I am humbled by your choosing this. I count myself fortunate indeed to do life alongside such remarkable humans. And so it's to you that I get to raise my final glass and wish you well, no matter where it is you are off to from here. Cheers to you. What will it look like? What will it look like in the days ahead, the weeks ahead, the months ahead? What will it look like to do this hard mode business? What's this guy in the tie got to say about these things? What does he know? What does that dude know? Him and his patriarchy. Come and see. Come and see. And as ever, I will strive to see that it's a decision that you don't regret. In the meantime, I wish for you each marvelous evenings, mornings, wherever ye be, and I will see you on the other side.